Hello dear students, hope all are fit and fine. Dear children, since childhood we have read many stories based on honesty, hard work, patience, dedication, etc. For example, The Honest Woodcutter, Slow and Steady Wins the Race, The Dreamy Milkmaid, etc. In today's class, we are going to learn an interesting story of Standard 10, Subject English, Lesson 1.2, The Thief's Story. So children, let's do the warming up activities given on page number 7. Question number 1. Read the following incident. Lokesh had always been a class topper in tests and examinations. However, invariably, he used foul means during exams to gain those high marks. Once, on the day of history examination, Lokesh realized that his classmate and friend Farhan came all prepared for maths instead of history. Farhan had become desperate, so Lokesh offered to let him copy from his answer sheet since Farhan sat just behind him. Farhan refused. He said, "It's all right even if I get a 0, but I can call it my own 0. I do not want to score a single mark unearned. Cheating in exams is for cowards, not me." These were a turning point in Lokesh's life. He gave up cheating forever. He worked hard for what he desired and never used foul means to acquire anything. So children, here, what is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is we should always be honest and hardworking. We should never use foul means to gain anything in life. Dear children, now let's know about the writer of this story, that is about Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond is an award-winning Indian author of British descent. He was born on 19th May 1934 in Kasauli, Punjab, to a British couple, Edith Clerk and Aubrey Bond. He spent his early childhood in Jamnagar and Shimla. His childhood was marred by his parents' separation and his father's death. He sought solace in reading and writing and wrote one of his first short stories at the age of 16. He then moved to UK in search of better prospects, but returned to India after some years. He spent the next few years earning his living as a freelance writer, penning short stories and poems for newspaper and magazines. In 1963, he went to live in Mussoorie, where he furthered his writing career. By this time, he was a popular writer and his essays and articles were published in numerous magazines and newspapers such as The Pioneer, The Leader, The Tribune, The Telegraph, etc. He also edited a magazine for 4 years. His increasing fame as a writer caught the attention of Penguin Books. The Room on the Roof and its sequel, Vagrants in the Valley, were published in one volume of Penguin India in 1993. His popular novel, The Blue Umbrella, was made into a Hindi film of the same name, which was awarded the National Film Award for Best Children Film in 2007. Dear students, Ruskin Bond's writing career spans over 5 decades, over the course of which he experimented with different genres including fiction, essays, autobiographical, non-fiction, romance and books for children. He has authored over 500 short stories, essays and novels, more than 50 books for children and 2 volumes of autobiographies. Children, some of his major works are The Best of Ruskin Bond, Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra, Tigers Forever, An Island of Trees, Funny Side Up, A Flight of Pigeons, The Room on the Roof, The India I Love, Angry River, The Blue Umbrella. Ruskin Bond never married. He lives with his adopted family in Mussoorie. Dear students, Ruskin Bond received the Sahitya Academy Award in 1992 for Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. He was also awarded the Padma Shri in 1999 and Padma Bhushan in 2014. So dear children, such a great and versatile writer was Ruskin Bond. So now dear children, open your textbook, page number 8. Let's read the story and try to understand it. I was still a thief when I met Anil, and though only 15, I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. So dear children, here we come to know that narrator of the story is a thief and he is about 15 years old. And he is an experienced thief means he was very good at theft. Anil was watching a wrestling match when I approached him. He was about 25, a tall, lean fellow, and he looked easygoing, kind and simple enough for my purpose. I hadn't had much luck of late and thought I might be able to get into the young man's confidence. So in this paragraph, the narrator, that is the thief, is describing Anil. So Anil is a 25-year tall, lean fellow and he is jolly good, kind and simple enough for narrator's theft purpose. The narrator did not have good chance to steal in the recent days. So now he is thinking that he can easily gain Anil's confidence. You look a bit of wrestler yourself, I said. A little flattery helps in making friends. Here the thief, the narrator, is insincerely praising Anil, saying that he looked like a wrestler. So do you, he replied, which put me off for a moment because at that time I was rather thin. Well, I said modestly, I do wrestle a bit. So here Anil replied to thief that he too looked like a wrestler, but the narrator was a very thin person. But the thief replied, he do wrestle a bit. What's your name? Hari Singh, I lied. I took a new name every month that kept me ahead of the police and my former employers. So dear children, the name of the thief is Hari Singh, but it wasn't his real name. Every month he used to change his name to escape from police. After this introduction, Anil talked about the well-oiled wrestlers who were grunting, lifting and throwing each other about. I didn't have much to say. Anil walked away. I followed casually. Hello again, he said. I gave him my most appealing smile. I want to work with you, I said, but I can't pay you. I thought that over for a minute. Perhaps I had misjudged my mind. So children, now Hari Singh followed Anil and he gave his attractive smile and showed his will to work with Anil. But Anil replied that he can't pay him. I asked, can you feed me? Can you cook? I can cook. I lied again. If you can cook, then maybe I can feed you. Here Anil asked Hari Singh whether he can cook the food. And once again, Hari Singh lied to Anil. He took me to his room over the Jamna sweet shop and told me I could sleep on the balcony. But the meal I cooked that night must have been terrible because Anil gave it to a stray dog and told me to be off. But I just hung around, smiling in my most appealing way, and he couldn't help laughing. Dear children, when Hari Singh cooked the food, it was disastrous and Anil gave it to stray dogs and told Hari Singh to go away. But again, Hari Singh smiled attractively, which melted Anil's heart and he started laughing. Later, he patted me on the head and said, never mind, he would teach me to cook. He also taught me to write my name and said he would soon teach me to write whole sentences and to add numbers. I was grateful. I knew that once I could write like an educated man, there would be no limit to what I could achieve. So, dear children, Hari Singh is having a thought in his mind that When he will become an educated man, then he can easily gain confidence of anyone and can do thefts perfectly and can achieve lot of money. It was quite pleasant working for Anil. I made the tea in the morning and then would take my time buying the day's supplies, usually making a profit of about a rupee a day. I think he knew I made a little money this way, but he did not seem to mind. So dear children, making tea, going to market was the daily routine of Hari Singh. He made a profit of a rupee per day, though Anil knew about it, but he did not mind it. Anil made money by fits and starts. He would borrow one week, lend the next. He kept worrying about his next check, but as soon as it arrived, he would go out and celebrate. It seems he wrote for magazines, a queer way to make a living. Dear students, here we come to know that Anil was a writer and was writing for magazines. He did not have consistent income. He made money at irregular intervals, and whenever he used to get a check, he used to celebrate it with friends. One evening, he came home with a small bundle of notes, saying he had just sold a book to a publisher. At night, I saw him tuck the money under the mattress. So dear children, one evening Hari Singh saw Anil come home with a bundle of notes and kept it under the mattress. I had been working for Anil for almost a month and apart from cheating on the shopping, had not done anything in my line of work. I had every opportunity for doing so. Anil had given me a key to the door and I could come and go as I pleased. He was the most trusting person I had ever met. So dear children, Hari Singh's line of work is stealing, that is theft, which he didn't do from many days. And he also knew that Anil trusted him completely. And that is why it was so difficult to rob him. It's easy to rob a greedy man because he can afford to be robbed. But it's difficult to rob a careless man. Sometimes he doesn't even notice he's been robbed. And that takes all the pleasure out of the work. Here, Hari Singh says that when the careless man doesn't notice that he's been robbed, it takes all the pleasure, that is thrill and happiness out of the theft. Well, it's time I didn't do some real work. I told myself, I'm out of practice and if I don't take the money, he'll waste it on his friends. After all, he doesn't even pay me. Here, Hari Singh has a thought in his mind that he has not done theft from many days and he is out of practice now. But now it's time to take the money because if he will not do so, then Anil would waste it on his friends. Anil was asleep. A beam of moonlight stepped over the balcony and fell on the bed. I sat up on the floor considering the situation. If I took the money, I could catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow. Slipping out of the blanket, I crept up to the bed. Anil was sleeping peacefully. His face was clear and unlined. Even I had more marks on my face, though mine were mostly scars. So dear children, here Hari Singh is thinking about the situation that if he took the money, he could catch 10:30 express to Lucknow. So he moved towards the bed. Anil was sleeping peacefully and his face showed no sign of worry or anxiety. My hand slid under the mattress, searching for the notes. When I found them, I drew them out without a sound. Anil sighed in his sleep and turned on his side towards me. I was startled and quickly crawled out of the room. So dear children, finally Hari Singh was successful in his theft, but he was frightened. He took the money and left the room. When I was on the road, I began to run. I had the notes at my waist, held there by the string of my pyjamas. I slowed down to a walk and counted the notes. 600 rupees of 50s. I could live like an oil-rich Arab for a week or two. Initially, Hari Singh started running children, but later slowed down and counted the notes, which were 600 rupees. And he thought that with this money, he would live in a luxurious manner for next 2 weeks. When I reached the station, I did not stop at the ticket office. I had never bought a ticket in my life, but dashed straight to the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving out. The train had still to pick up speed and I should have been able to jump into one of the carriages. But I hesitated. For some reason I can't explain. And I lost the chance to get away. Dear students, Hari Singh never bought a ticket in his life. He reached the station in time, that is at 10:30 p.m. and saw the Lucknow Express moving. But he hesitated to get in for some reason and lost the chance to escape. When the train had gone, I found standing alone on the deserted platform. I had no idea where to spend the night. I had no friends, believing that friends were more trouble than help. And I did not want to make anyone curious by staying at one of the small hotels near the station. The only person I knew really well was the man I had robbed. Leaving the station, I walked slowly through the bazaar. Hari Singh believed that friends were more trouble than help, so he didn't have any friends and he couldn't stay at nearby hotels because he didn't wanted to get suspected. The only person he knew in the town was Anil. So he left the platform and started walking through the bazaar. In my short career as a thief, I had made a study of men's faces when they had lost their goods. The greedy man showed fear, the rich man showed anger, the poor man showed acceptance. But I knew that Anil's face when he discovered the theft would show only a touch of sadness. Not for the loss of money, but for the loss of trust. Dear children, every person reacts differently when he loses something. So here, Hari Singh thinks that when Anil will come to know about the theft, he will not be angry nor frightened. He would be sad, not for the loss of money, but for the loss of trust he had on him. I found myself in the Maidan and sat down on a bench. The night was chilly. It was early November and a light drizzle added to my discomfort. Soon it was raining quite heavily. My shirt and pajamas stuck to my skin and a cold wind blew the rain across my face. Here Hari Singh is describing the chilly night and his attire got stuck to his skin due to rain. I went back to the bazaar and sat down in the shelter of the clock tower. The clock showed midnight. I felt for the notes. They were damp from the rain. When Hari Singh sat under the clock tower, he started searching for the notes. Then he found them wet due to the rain. Anil's money. In the morning, he would probably have given me 2 or 3 rupees to go to the cinema. But now I had it all. I couldn't cook his meal, run to the bazaar or learn to write whole sentences anymore. Now many thoughts are emerging in Hari Singh's mind. Now he has all the money but still he is not happy because now he will not be able to cook food, run to the bazaar or learn to write sentences. Doing all these things gave pleasure to him. So now he is feeling guilty for the theft he had done. I had forgotten about them in the excitement of the theft. Whole sentences I knew could one day bring me more than a few hundred rupees. It was a simple matter to steal and sometimes just as simple to be caught. But to be really big man, a clever and respected man was something else. I should go back to Anil, I told myself, if only to learn to read and write. Hari Singh, in the excitement of the theft, couldn't realize that when he would be able to read and write, he could achieve respect in the society. He is feeling sorry and guilty and decided to go back to Anil. I hurried back to the room, feeling very nervous, for it is much easier to steal something than to return it undetected. I opened the door quietly, then stood in the doorway in clouded moonlight. Anil was still asleep. I crept to the head of the bed and my hand came up with the notes. I felt his breath on my hand. I remained still for a minute. Then my hand found the edge of the mattress and slipped under it with the notes. Now Hari Singh is feeling very nervous because it is easy to steal than to return it unnoticed. When he returned home, Anil was still asleep. He moved towards the bed and kept the money under the mattress. I awoke late next morning to find that Anil had already made the tea. He stretched out his hand towards me. There was a 50 rupees note between his fingers. My heart sank. I thought I had been discovered. Next morning, Hari Singh woke up late. Anil was giving 50 rupees to Hari Singh. Hari Singh got frightened and thought that Anil was discovered his theft. I made some money yesterday, he explained. Now you'll be paid regularly. Now Anil said that he had made some money yesterday and now he will pay Hari Singh regularly. My spirits rose. But when I took the note, I saw it was still wet from the night's rain. So now Hari Singh became very happy and hopeful. But when he took the note in his hand, he observed that it was still wet from the night's rain. Today we'll start writing sentences, he said. He knew, but neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. I smiled at Anil in my most appealing way and the smile came by itself without any effort. Anil told Hari Singh that from today onwards we will start writing sentences. Now Hari Singh understood that Anil had already came to know about the theft. But instead of getting angry, he forgave Anil Singh and wanted to give him a chance to become a better person. This made Hari Singh very happy and he smiled at Anil. And this time it was a true smile from bottom of his heart. So children, this was the story of Anil and Hari Singh and how Anil's kind act has transformed the life of Hari Singh and motivated him to become a better person and lead a dignified life. I hope, dear students, you have understood and liked the story. So, the moral of the story here is, we should always be honest and hardworking. Many times in our lives, we come across difficult situations, but we should face them with courage and confidence. We should never try to use foul means to achieve anything. We should always try to choose the correct path and walk on it to achieve our goals. Don't try for shortcuts to success. Total dedication, hard work, patience, honesty will only lead a person towards the success. So children, this was the moral of the story. Now you can try to solve the English workshop activities given in the textbook. Thank you.